because I assumed you must have worked with Ian McKellen dozens of times, but I don't think you have.
No, we haven't. I asked him to be a Henry V over 30 years ago, and he said no. He claims there's a clash of dates or something. I think he just didn't want to do it. But no, he's then complained that Derek Jacobi's got all the parts he should have had in my films.
Thank you guys so much for coming out for this opening weekend of All Is True. At this time, please join me in welcoming, oh boy, the film's director, star, he probably also did craft services. Please welcome Kenneth Branagh. Introduction prepared, and then I was like, oh, well, we don't have much time, and they'd rather hear from you. So I wanted to get you out here because you have obviously adapted and starred in so many different versions of Shakespeare's works. Did you ever consider actually playing the man, and how did the script sort of come about?
We did a production of Shakespeare's The Winter's Tale in the West End with myself playing Leontes, the character who in the play accuses his wife falsely of infidelity, and all sorts of tragedy ensues, including the loss of a child, his son Mamilius, who dies of a broken heart, it would seem. And the role of Paulina was played by Judi Dench, brilliantly. She's an incredibly strong character in Shakespeare, and it made Ben Elton, who wrote the screenplay for this film, and I think about the possible dynamic between Shakespeare and Anne Hathaway when he returns to Stratford at the end of his sort of 20 years in London, being this most celebrated writer of the age, and needing to sort of confront or resolve whatever happens when you're an absentee father and husband after all that time, and when between you and your family lies this haunting spectre of a dead child.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was something you had just never really thought about up until that point, or I mean, I feel like you're, with the exception of maybe Christopher Marlowe, you're probably the person most associated with William Shakespeare. So we sort of turn to you as like our experts. It's interesting that even all these years later, you could be thinking of new takes on him.
Well, being inside the plays so often, something that always struck me, such an obvious thing to say, but at least from my point of view, the thing that always amazed me was the sort of minutiae that he observed the human condition, and all our sort of foibles and insecurities and hopes and dreams, and it seemed to me that it was a natural enough question to think, well, how did they all apply in Shakespeare's own life? For instance, one of the things that surprised me when we were researching this was Shakespeare's insistence. It is a fact, as in the movie, that he spent £20 on that coat of arms. For some reason or other, he did want to be called gentleman. And, whatever that is, I mean, whether it's a sense of shame about his father's financial ruin. His father had been mayor of Stratford and then was arrested. It was a terrible financial scandal, and a sensitivity about status seemed to apply to Shakespeare, which in itself it seems sort of quite touching and a bit of a surprise inside the life of a man who you might have expected returned to Stratford in a sort of blaze of glory. But I think that one of the things Ben wanted to do with the screenplay was to take Shakespeare away from where you might usually expect to find him backstage at a theatre, in the world of the romp that we might enjoy, and I certainly did in the brilliant Shakespeare in Love. But this was trying to take Shakespeare out of his comfort zone and find all the ways in which his own sort of common humanity, all the sort of nitty-gritty that perhaps we recognise in ourselves, how that maybe existed in him, not as a genius, but just as an ordinary human being.
I mean, I feel like probably very little intimidates you because you've tackled so many classics and so many sort of sacred cows, so to speak. I was just rewatching Sleuth, which I love, by the way. It's so clever. But was there any hesitation in actually playing Shakespeare? I mean, did that feel like, a big climb, or did you feel like you've been preparing for this for years?
Well, I suppose it was felt so natural to try and convey, in a way, for me, the relationship with him has always been very personal. It was personal in every way. When I was 13, in the very same year, I was made to stand up in class and read from Shakespeare's play The Merchant of Venice, and I really didn't understand a single word I said. But the English teacher said we had to do it. He said it was brilliant, and you'd understand why when you started speaking it. Well, I didn't. However, that same year, I did go and see a production of Romeo and Juliet with the school. They took us in a party, and swords clashed at the beginning. There was a fight. I could see sparks from the blades. A beautiful Juliet walked on, and it was, 1,000 13-year-old kids reacting all the time, and that live stir of emotion and sort of hormonal jiggery-pokery that was going on amongst us, all us 13-year-olds, was really very direct. So from that point on, I felt as though he did something for me. And when I was 17, I hitchhiked to Stratford. It was my first independent outing as a kid. I discovered working on this film that Ian McKellen had done exactly the same thing 25 years earlier, and we both camped in the same field. And we'd both gone into Stratford, we queued for tickets for the theatre, and then the day we went round these houses and these places and tried to find Shakespeare the man. So I always sort of approached him as a human being, I always wanted to know him. I always wanted to thank him, and in a way, the film and the attempt at the performance was a way of thanking him for all the things that I felt that I had from him, and that also might be a way for people who either are perplexed by him or like I was when I was reading The Merchant of Venice aloud, utterly baffled. There might be a way into the interest, understanding, appreciation, whatever you might like to call it, of the work that he does by introducing him as a man, as a flawed human being, but one we could recognise. And one of the things I liked at the beginning of the movie, I liked playing, was for a master of words, it's quite quiet. He's quite silent. He doesn't, he isn't full of a brilliant phrase for every moment in his day. He doesn't, come downstairs for breakfast and say, "You're not to me, having the coffee this morning." He's there's a lot of time spent before he suddenly goes at dinner. But you imagine all the loaded sentences and charged atmospheres. You've been away for 20 years, and we haven't even heard yet about the possible scandal with Southampton. And I enjoyed out of that sort of silence. Silence maybe we've all endured or understood in families where subterranean stuff's going on, some kind of, memory from the terrible Thanksgiving 15 years ago when something happened and we still won't forgive our sister, our mother or our father. And it comes out 15 years later about changing the television volume or something. And it goes nuclear quickly. And I liked playing that sort of charged atmosphere in the Shakespeare household.
Can I be honest and say that Merchant of Venice still kind of befuddles me?
Yes.
That's the one I can't crack.
Still the only one.
Okay, good. I don't want to focus too much on the physical because it isn't just about the physical transformation, but it is astounding. It really took me like a good few minutes into this movie to believe that was you. Can you sort of talk about the process about, how you did this, but then also you're in makeup directing. It as well, so I don't did people did they feel like they were being directed by Shakespeare?
I think it gave him a funny feeling every now and again. Ian McKellen said it did, definitely did. But there was a conversation about whether maybe I could play him, looking as I do, and would it be about the sort of inside of the man. I agreed that it was going to try to be that, but I've talked about this before. But I went and sort of stood in front of the Chandos portrait of William Shakespeare in the National Portrait Gallery in London, and it's a wonderful painting that we believe, or at least I believe, the evidence persuades us, was him. He sat for it, that's what I think. And in those eyes is this very wry, provocative, warm, teasing guy. The sort of cheeky look, the provocative look a man who could write a play about Henry VIII, whom he had never met, and call it All Is True. And yet, so those eyes were there being cheeky. This is the man who writes other titles like Much Ado About Nothing, or As You Like It, or Twelfth Night, or What You Will. Keeps sort of shrugging his shoulders and defying you to find out who he is. And so I walked away thinking, well, I want to try and find the twinkle that's in those eyes, but I think the world knows him for the rest of his look, the high forehead, the long hair, the bigger nose, the beard, and I should try and, it felt like the right thing to do to try and give people what they've seen on the tea towel and the key ring, but from the inside, try and sort of subvert and introduce the twinkly fellow that I saw.
I mean, but how many hours did you have to sit in the makeup chair and then direct all day, act all day? Like you're never taking a break. You're always on set, and then it probably took time to get off at night.
The half dozen days running up to the months before where we kept practicing this look and how long it would take. Vanessa White, the makeup designer, and Neil Gordon, the prosthetics wizard, worked on me simultaneously, and so eventually we got it down and I'd sit in the chair at 5:30, and it was 90 minutes to do it all. I closed my eyes as they started, and then an hour and a half later I'd open my eyes and I'd get a hell of a shock to suddenly find Mr. Shakespeare there. And then actually the sort of little decompression that I found you needed between daring to direct Miss Denshaw, Mr. McKellen, and sort of tuning into playing the part, really in this case just involved looking in the mirror, because I thought, whoa, Christ, he's there again. And it was then the director part of me switched off, and we, because we were shooting in an Elizabethan house, so we were walking around in rooms that were well established when Shakespeare was alive. We were in the nighttime scenes simply lit by candlelight, so everything fell away. You couldn't see the cameras. It felt like it was a kind of time travel that was very immersive. It was very quiet, and that quiet and that darkness were part of the sort of reverie that you kind of fell into as he sort of took you over.
We have to talk about this amazing cast, and obviously, wonderful established people like Judi Dench, who I think has a bright future. But also some of these younger actors, like you've always had a really good eye for talent, actually. And you've worked with quite a few of these people.
Sure, I've been very lucky so for instance, Catherine Wilder, who plays Judith, we gave her first job 4 years ago. She was in that very Winter's Tale, playing Dorcas, one of the country maids, but getting used to working with Judi Dench, which takes a while for people to drop the awe and intimidation factor. Not that Judy presents that, but she does. Then Catherine understudied Lily James in a theatre production of Romeo and Juliet, and Lily was off for a few days as Catherine went on, did a brilliant job. She was briefly in Murder on the Orient Express, played Ophelia to Tom Hiddleston's Hamlet, and by the time this came around, we had sort of helped develop a terrific young talent. She came from the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. I believe we have some RADA graduates in tonight.
RADA section.
And we sort of have half a dozen of them in this film as well. And that's always been a thrill to see young talent develop. Yeah.
And I was racking my brain because I assumed you must have worked with Ian McKellen dozens of times, but I don't think you have.
No, we haven't. I asked him to be a Henry V over 30 years ago, and he said no. He claims it's a clash of dates or something. I think he just didn't want to do it. But no, he's then complained that Derek Jacobi's got all the parts he should have had in my films. But he's always been, I've known him a bit because he's been a fantastic supporter. He'd show up in places, we'd be on the road doing Shakespeare. I remember him turning up in Birmingham one Saturday matinee, we were playing As You Like It, to a small house, and suddenly through the door comes Ian McKellen. He was so generous, kind. We were kids, we were in our mid-20s, and he would just on his travels up north, he popped in to see us, and he's always been an inspiring figure, and it was intimidating to act with him.
Really?
Yeah, he's a master Shakespearean, and you don't want to let him down. You had to. This is particularly this kind of sparring match that the two characters have here. It's so sweet. Afterwards, he said to me, he said, I wasn't sure when I watched the film whether you might have cut my version of the sonnet, whether you might have thought, well, you do yours, and then if McKellen's really good, which he is, maybe you just cut it, to try and so that he didn't win. But the truth is, I said, well, no, you've done us such an honour and a favour to be in this. So if there's some sort of analogy with playing tennis, I was very privileged to play tennis with somebody, in my view, much better than I am, who knocked the ball back over the net in ways that were very inspiring. So I was never going to cut a full stop of anything he said.
I mean, and it's just one scene. He just comes in and like, in that one, because I've heard from so many actors that it's more difficult to do one scene than several. You have to create so much subtext in that moment. And it's just, it goes on that list of like one scene wonders.
But like Judy, so I went to see him, I don't know, a month before we did it, and I was in his dressing room in the Duke of York's Theatre in London. He was about to play King Lear. I couldn't believe that he was beating me, but he was doing it because he's a canny actor, so he wanted to know how we might do it. I told him that it would be the only scene in the film where we shoot 2 cameras at the same time. So we do the whole scene each time. And every time there was a camera on me, there was a camera on him, and we capture whatever happened between us. So any mistake or any beautiful accident could be caught, and neither performers would be compromised. They'd both be enhanced because we capture whatever the reaction was to whatever that surprise was. And so each time we did the scene, we did it all the way through. He never fluffed a line or a sentence, and it was a thrill. It was a thrill.
What do you think, personally for you, what's the secret to the enduring appeal of Shakespeare? Why all these years later are we still talking about it, still finding new interpretations of his work?
Well, maybe because we keep asking that question, we answer it. We always sound feeble when we answer it, but he observes human nature in a very precise and detailed way. He writes poetically, so it goes beyond that which we understand in words. And he entertains, he makes us laugh, makes us cry, makes us think, makes us work, because the language is 400 years old now, and sometimes we have to do a little bit of work, and that's quite good for us. I think, when we get to my age, it's quite good to be thinking in the way that he makes you think. I feel, and you can probably tell it from the movie, although there'll be a million other versions of Shakespeare that people might consider, for me he's a large-hearted, large-souled individual who's been a great inspiration to me, but also a great source of consolation through life's ups and downs. In this story, we take a look at what might have produced his ability to write so beautifully and painfully and honestly about grief. In King John, he talks very directly about the death of the child Arthur. Grief fills the room up with my absent child, and he goes on to talk about the ache of that loss. And one can only imagine that, as well observed as that, as well felt as that, probably comes from a very, very personal place of his own experience. So that honesty, that ability to transmute your own flawed humanity into work that might offer some consolation to other people as well as entertainment, and do that thing of simply reminding us that whatever happens in our lives, we are not alone. So when someone like him holds the mirror up to nature, it can be very comforting.
Are there any roles of his you're dying to play, like in 30 years? Are you looking forward to doing King Lear? Or?
I sort of these days I'm open to what the four winds present to me, but you can't. I feel I've been so blessed with this man's work that if I didn't ever have the chance to work on his plays again, I would really have had all my Christmas presents at once, as it were. But so you end up gravitating towards plays that are around your age. I think about plays like The Tempest now, and a character like Prospero, who's wrapped up in this period of Shakespeare's life we've been talking about. He wrote about it, not long before this period, and indeed he wrote about difficulties sometimes in the relationships between fathers and daughters, and that play highlights that.
we need a really good version of the Hamlet. Can I just give you my money now? And give you actually, I do want to remind everyone this movie is open in New York and LA right now. It'll be sort of spreading across the world as we go. Please spread the word. Thank you guys so much for being a great audience. I know if you could stay seated, you have to get to another one of these. But thank you so much.
And thank you so much for coming out on our first night. Really makes it